date on your jacket? December of this year.
Oh, what? Oh, 2015. Yay.
Mine's like November the Emperor.
I hope so. Is it right? I'm thinking
Get it on this.
It is.
$100 by September.
Where'd you,
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Where'd you do the full screen?
All right, you guys, so I want to welcome you guys all to the business training. I'm so excited that we have so many of you here. We're going to have a couple probably last minute people coming in just because of the rain and all of that stuff. But I just want to make sure that we get started because we've got, I don't know, that filled up at 25, so we added extra seats, but we have over 25 people on a webinar. So we're excited to have a number of people really just tune into this. So we're going to cover a lot of things tonight. We've got a lot of it out here, so taking notes should be a little easier, but Libby and I are going to do this together. I'm excited because Libby came to me a while ago and just told me she was like ready to team up and do this. So I'm excited to watch her as she's just really grown and stepping up as a leader. So I'm proud of her. But I'm going to let you just get started and talk about some of the contests and promotions. And I'll step over here while you're talking. So we'll go through that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming, and thank you for those who are on the webinar. My name is Libby Michella. If you haven't met me yet, or maybe you've seen me on the page. And I spoke briefly with Angie and said, you know what, I need to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. I used to teach, and I used to teach in front of little kids, but not really in front of a lot of adults. And so thank you for allowing me to join you tonight. So first, I just want to start off by talking about some of the new contests and promotions. If you go into your back office, there is a contest and promotions tab at the top you can click on, and you can see all of this information there. But I just wanted to bring it here in person just so that you could know exactly what the awesome Crystal Reset is. So the Crystal Reset is a reset for getting bonus money. So when you first started Isagenix, you were told, hey, if in 30 days I make it to manager, I can get $250 like that. And Isagenix would pay you. Well, I went past days before I didn't even start sharing until about day 90. So I missed out on that. I remember thinking, that stinks. Like I totally just missed out on that money. But that was my own, I wasn't ready for it then. Well, Isagenix is awesome, and they have now done a Crystal Reset, which means that if you rank advanced to manager, you will get $250. And that was reset when we were at NYKO. And the date for that is February 15th. So if any of you are close to rank advancing to manager, $250 if you do it by February 15th. So it's important to share with your teammates that as well, because some people don't realize that it's the reset, and that it's been reset for everyone, which is awesome. The Crystal Reset also is for if you're able to rank advance to Crystal Director or Crystal Executive. So you can find that in your back office as well. If you rank advance to Crystal Director, the extra bonus is $750. And if you rank advance to Crystal Executive, it's another $1,000. So Isagenix just really pays you for just sharing this gift with people. But everybody got the Crystal Reset, so we all have a reason now to get that bonus money again. Okay, another thing that's going on is called Billion and Beyond. And what this is Isagenix picks a country every year that they want to take as many people to. And Isagenix last year, because of all of us and sharing, made millions of dollars. And they have made a goal that they want it to be in the billions. So in order to do that, they want to share with us this opportunity that all of us can go to the French Riviera. And so it's an all-inclusive, all-expense-paid trip, airline, flight, everything. In order to do this, you need to be able to.
Yeah, you need to increase if you guys have the ISOPulse app, you're going to open your app up and you're going to see Billion and Beyond, and there's going to be a number on there, and that's going to be your targeted number for where you need to be year to date in order to be meeting that goal. But basically, anybody that made $0 to $50,000 last year, I think it was, $50,000, they have to increase that by $150,000. And to me, that number, if I was in corporate America, would seem very, very scary to me. But in network marketing, I don't want that number to scare you guys because it's 100% possible. Anybody can do that. So it tracks it for you on your iSpulse app. It tracks it for you in your back office. So just so you know, if you see that pop up on your iSpulse, that you know what that means. But again, go to your contests and promotions, read all about it. I just want to encourage you guys to use that tab because it has a lot of questions that pop up on the page can be found in your back office under that tab. And it's just, it's there to motivate us and to, push us to want to continue to do better. You're welcome.
This is the flyer that I'll just pass around. So those of you who are here, if you haven't seen it or you haven't been in your back office, you're welcome to check that out. Yes, I definitely have that on my vision board. Last year I just started with Isagenix. I didn't make as much money, and so now I have the opportunity to build my business and hopefully go on this trip. Also, another thing that I wanted to just bring up is that if you have people on your team who rank advanced to manager, a lot of times on our Facebook page, on the GoPro page, the business page, we welcome them and say, congratulations, you made it to manager. Now you get to participate in what's called holiday bonus pool. And I just wanted to let you know that some of the rules have changed on that. And so definitely need to check that out under contests and promotions and in your back office, because some of the things that have changed are when you enroll your 3 associates, they have to stay active the entire time. Okay, the entire time that you're in that quarter. Okay, and then also another thing was that 50% of the shares is paid out at the end of the quarter, and then 50% is paid out in December. Okay, so if you can find more information on that, but I have the details here, and I underlined some things because what was the other one that there was a reason why I got this up. If you have somebody that rank advances to manager in the quarter and they rank advanced in like week 5, you have to be sorry, this is hard to explain.
It is. You know what? Until we won't.
Okay.
So, yeah, just read it. Just make sure you keep up to date on all of the contests and promotions. Holiday Pool, Crystal Reset, and Billion and Beyond are the 3 most important ones, but it's all in your back office. So if you have questions, you can let us know. But just make sure you guys are aware of it. Because anybody that's manager or higher, or if you have a team that's manager or higher, we want to make sure we know so that we can motivate them. Because that holiday pool pays out up to $5,000 in a year. So it's money that you don't want to leave on the table. So just checking that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and then the other thing that we want to make sure that everybody has is the iSpulse app. You want to have that. It's just easy to check your cycles. It's easy to check the Billion and Beyond. It's easy to check if you are close to getting free vitamins. I mean, it shows you right there. You're close to it. You're also able to see who on your team or who on our team is up for PIV. So maybe they made their first, it'll say they made their first enrollment, give them some motivation, So you can see their actual name of the person who's enrolled someone and help motivate them. So it's great to just have. Make sure that you to your phone if you don't have it there yet. And then we're just going into basics. If there's,
I don't know if anybody here needs that. But if everybody here know what those things are, well, we may have some people on the webinar, just basically run through them real quick and then.
Okay. You've probably heard a lot of us talking about BV. What is BV? BV means business volume, and business volume are the points that are attached to our products. So if you are setting someone up with a Paysetter pack, it's 150 BV business volume. So it's the points that are attached to our product. And those points add up and are continuously banked when you remain active. PIB is your product intro bonus. This is how much Isagenix pays you for the packs. That's also in your back office. It shows you which packs, and in our GoPro page are able to receive product intro bonus. And then you can also double that if it's within the same Isagenix week, 2 or more. PHV is, I always just call it PV, but personal holding volume, so that's what you purchase. Those are those points, kind of like the business volume that you win. And every time that you stay active, you're banking your own personal points, or if you're consultant or higher, you're using those points to cycle. Cycling is when you have 600 BV, again, business volume, on one side, and 300 BV on the other side, and one cycle equals $54. So if you have an active person that you've enrolled on the left, an active person that you've enrolled on the right, and you're active, then you become a consultant, and you will cycle when there's 600 points on one side and 300 on the other. Okay, so when you hear people talking about cycles, it could be anywhere from 1 to 250 cycles a week, and there are people that do that.
Can I ask a question about cycles, just to make sure I fully understand them? So I understand one cycle. So would 2 cycles then be 1200 BV on one side and 600 BV on the other?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so basically multiples of 600 on one and multiples of 300 is how you then get 2, 4, 6, 10 cycles.
And the great thing about it is that a lot of businesses will reset that every week, so it'll wipe it out to 0 at the start of the week, but Isagenix rolls it over. So you don't lose out on any of it as long as you remain active. You can have, you can have 1 million BV built up on one leg, and there are people that have that. So just remember to stay active, but anytime you meet that 600 and 300, and the legs can flip-flop. One leg may do better one week than the other, it will cause you to cycle.
And we have people that have not started sharing yet, have not been able to be a consultant yet and participate in cycles, but they are, if they're staying active every month, they're banking all those points, which can eventually lead to a bunch of cycles in 1 week when they do become a consultant.
And you guys all understand how to stay active? That's 100 BV every single month. So.
And then staying active, is really, really important. When you log on into your back office, on the upper left, you're going to see active until, so let's just say it says active until January 31st. Don't order on the 31st. Always order at least 1 day prior, because if you order on the 31st, say you order 110 BV on the 31st, 100 of it is going to go to keep you active, and 10 of it is going to go towards helping you cycle. If you order a day before, you get to use the entire 110 to help you cycle. So just that 1 day ahead of time is going to allow you to get paid back on your full order. So if you could just get in the habit of knowing when your active date is, then I think that would be helpful.
What if you're on auto ship?
If you're on auto ship, or if anybody is on auto ship with products, always make sure that you set it at least 1 day before. If you're on auto ship for the Make-A-Wish donation, then it doesn't matter, that can be whenever. But for products, you would want to make sure that it's at least 1 day prior to your active
So it's
date.
every 29 days, basically.
And deliver it every 29 days. Yeah. 28 technically, just with February in there, if you're going to actively be using it, but 29 is fine for 11 months out of the year. So, okay. You can leave it for now. So I'm going to talk real quick because I put up a video in the business page last week that was by no means, it was about open houses. It was by no means meant to upset anybody, and it may have, but it was just me kind of just being real and letting you guys know that I am 100% committed to all of you. And I make appointments, and I'm on the phone with a lot of you guys all throughout the week, or I'll set up meetings. And I will always be there, always, unless something just, totally blindsides me and I can't make it, but I'll always keep my commitment. So it was just meant to let you guys know I'm totally committed, and just really wanting to have that same level of commitment. If you guys tell me you're going to be somewhere, that you do. So I just hope you all understand that I'm committed to you guys as a team, and it wasn't meant to, by any means, upset anybody. But the video is down from the page because I don't want that to be something that new people come onto the page and possibly see it and maybe get like a negative feeling. So the video, it served its purpose. It got to reach everybody, but it's no longer on there. So I just wanted you guys to know that. But I do want to talk about inviting to open houses. So whenever we do a big group open house, we will, I'll post it in the page. So I post it in the GoPro page, kind of just as a reminder for us to invite. I'll then post it in the Sweet Freedoms page as well. And so I guess I want to find out where everybody's at with inviting. How many people just rely only on the Facebook invite, just tag people. You guys don't have to raise your hands if you don't want to, but okay. So that is, she's like, I'm participating. I do all of them. Okay. That's good, because this here is important, because I can tell you the Facebook invites they're okay. but not enough people are on there regularly. And they may get a reminder 30 minutes before that the event's happening, but they probably didn't check it since the time that they were tagged on it. So Facebook is a great way to, as like the first initial invite for them. If you don't have their phone number, then Facebook message them and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I tagged you in an event. I'm going to be going regardless, I'll be there, but I would love for you to come as my guest. But just figure out how you want to word it. But send them something personal. Never mass message anybody, because I can pretty much guarantee you nobody's going to open it and read it. Text message, if you have their phone number. Before I would text message, I'd probably even reverse these. I would give them a phone call, because this day and age that we live in now, we don't do that enough. We're like talking into our phones. I'm totally guilty of it. I'm like voice texting, spelling things wrong to people to Shannon all day. I say exclamation point. I want my punctuation. It spells it out to her. But we live in this day where we don't have to pick up the phone. But it really goes a long way if you do. If you can make that personal connection and invite them, and then follow it up with a text message and just remind them. Libby had a great point. When she would invite people, she would say, hey, I'm going to swing by Starbucks. What's your favorite drink? I'm going to bring it to you. If you're bringing something to somebody, they're pretty likely to show up, or at least they're going to give you the respect of not no-showing you, but they'll call you and let you know. And at that point, you can take that as an opportunity to create your own event. Create a three-way call. Create a Starbucks meeting with them. But the conversation's been open to where you can say, okay, I'm really sorry that tonight doesn't work out, but when does? Could you meet me at Starbucks on Tuesday at 9? I'd love to really just share this with you. But at that point, like I said, the door's open to really have that conversation with them. So don't take it as a being bummed out, because I'll tell you what, I've had my fair share of open houses where I'm like, I've got 15 people, they're committed to coming, and 3 show up. And that's just how it goes. People flake. I can tell you, because of that, it's made me never do that to somebody, because I don't like that feeling of planning and getting things ready, and then you don't have somebody show up. But just be prepared for it. If you do invite people, that 50% of them probably won't come, but at least you've opened the door to create your own event and set another meeting with them, whether it be a 3-way call with Libby or a 3-way call with myself. But we can go that avenue. I think that's it. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys also that Janelle, I'm really excited I was talking to her today, is creating a document, and it's going to be in the GoPro page, and it will be for open houses and basically the format. This is bullet point, what we would talk about. So a lot of people here, may not be comfortable yet doing an open house, but if you have something you can go off of, there's nothing, as you can see, wrong with writing notes out and reading off of them until you have that memorized, and maybe you never do, but you'll have the information there. So she's going to create that document so that you can really take control of your business, and you can schedule open houses, and you don't have to rely on somebody else's schedule. You can just, do it when you can make it. Yeah. So, all right, girl, you're up.
Okay. So next we're just going to go into when you're on Facebook. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
That's it.
You can sit, yeah. I wanted to be able to see you.
Next thing that we're going to go into is when you add people to the Facebook Sweet Freedoms page, how do you track them? So I'm just going to share with you what I do, and I am a paper and pencil type person, because I know that the computer can track my team, my Isagenix website. I know that it can track, it can see when I go under members, I can see who's been added to the Sweet Freedoms page and who added them. But I've got to keep track of who I've added to the page, because now I've added over 250 people. Okay. So the way that I did it in the very beginning, I just wanted to show you, is I basically made a list. How we talk about in the meetings, making your list of 100. Well, make a list of 100 people that you know. That's part of the 90-day game plan, that that you think would be interested in health or losing weight or more energy, either athletes, and you make your list. And then you contact those people. Well, for me, in the beginning, the first thing I did was add them. If they're on Facebook, I add them to the Sweet Freedoms page. Okay, so I write down every single name. As soon as I add them on, the members been added, bam, they're on my paper. Okay, so then what I do is I have this list, right? And I don't ever cross anyone's name off. There are times I say no. There are times when they say I see them leave the page, but I still have to track, because I want to know who is still potentially interested and who I need to back off from, okay, for a little bit. So because it also takes someone like 7 to 8 to 10 times to be told about something to go, well, yeah, maybe I'm ready for that. Not everybody's going to jump on the first time. I can attest to this because she must have messaged me a few times and I was like, no. And then she called me and I was like, thank you for the information. No, so I get it. And so now when I tell someone and they say no right away, I don't take it as I'm crossing you off my list. I'm never going to talk to you again because I know it took me a good few months before I was like, I'm ready and interested. Okay, add me back to that page that I deleted. Okay, so I have my list of people, and what I do is I just kind of like code it, meaning that if somebody has sent me a Facebook message of interest, okay, what is this? So I put a circle by it, just like beside their. If they sign up with me, I put a star inside the circle. This is just my coding, okay? If Julie's on my team and she's one of my best friends, if she signs up someone and they were on my list, then I just put, when I first started the list, I have her mom, her sister, people like that. Well, they joined her. So what I did is I still put a star in because they signed up with Isagenix, but I write in brackets, signed up with Julie or signed up with Linda, whoever it is, okay? If they go onto my website without talking to me first and sign up, which I've had happen, and they become a preferred customer, not an associate. I put a PC beside them so I know that I can touch base with them and that they know that they're aware that they can become an associate within the next 2 years. They can put in their own, I don't know if you guys knew that, they can put in their social security number and become an associate within 2 years of becoming a preferred customer. And then they feel like they can do it. I've had somebody do that, so. I have circled a few people's names, and instead of crossing them out, that have left the page. They've left the Sweet Phoenix page, they told me no. So then what I do is I circle their name, and then I make another list back here.
She's so organized. I love it. I need to see this. I don't know how to organize.
And it says at the top, left page. Okay, so I have names of people who have left the page. And I have written beside them, back on, because then they contacted me later on and text me. But I'm just tracking it because, again, I know that Isagenix is a gift, and I know that it's helped me, and I know it's helped all of you, and it's helped so many other people that I'm not going to give up on anybody. I'm not going to hound them and be like, well, you said no, so now I'm going to call you 2 days later. And
Well, the great thing is people will leave that page, but when they leave it, the way that she tracks it, what I do when somebody leaves a page is I go to their personal Facebook page and I make sure I visit that once a day and I see what's going on in their life. And it allows me to say, oh, it's their daughter's birthday and celebrate that with them. Or maybe they had a bad day and they're looking for somebody to be positive, but I'm there. And I'm there for, first off, because I want them to, what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to become really good friends. What's the best that's going to happen? We're going to become really good friends. And they're going to get started with Isagenix. But if you track it that way, you're able to be a part of their life, and your name is popping up more. So they're going to think of you when, maybe something in their life's just not working, and they're going to know that they can come to you. So I love the way that Libby tracks it. I have a whiteboard. It's not as detailed. I have a lot in my head, but I have a lot of Post-it notes. I have a Post-it note addiction. But my whiteboard has been, I put the date next to it when I've contacted them. I put, special things maybe we talked about, or if they said, I want to start after the first of the year, there's just notes because it's a business. So we have to treat it like a business if we're looking to share it.
And that's something too I do. I have a whiteboard and I list the people who actually just recently contacted me and said, Libby, I am interested, but just I can't pay for it right now. Or I am interested, but I need to talk to my husband. Whatever it is, and I have a whiteboard, and that's what I do. It's just so that I'm not flipping through my list every, that's how I track it for Facebook, but that's how I just put them that these are potentials. These are people who have said that they're interested, that they need some more time, so that I can check in with them and I have some notes. This is kind of out there too, but even on my whiteboard, I have a list of people who are on the IsoBody Challenge that are on my team, so that we can all hold each other accountable. We're on that list.
I'm done. Yes,
And then I just have like my why did I start this? Because I have to go back constantly and say, why did I start this? And think about how some of these people are feeling.
Yeah,
when
we
they
have to
receive this
remember
information.
like that it took her 3 months, took me 3 months. And we're not out there to push them to do anything. We're just out there to be there when they're ready. Because isogenics will happen for them when the time is right. We just have to be the ones to consistently follow up. And as far as follow-up goes, because I get asked this a lot, I do not ever send out messages and say, hey, are you ready to start isogenics? Hey, checking in with you about isogenics. I just send them messages, hey, I was just thinking about you today, and I hope everything's going well. It's crazy, but it almost always leads back to isogenics. I'm doing great. It looks like you're doing great, and you just got back from a trip. It sounds like isogenics is going well. Isogenics, it leads into it. Or you look great, or whatever it is. But I basically just look at it as treating people the way I would want to be treated. I have been approached by a number of people in different network marketing companies, so I've learned what to do and equally what not to do. So just really, how would you like to receive the message? So, and it's not fake. I truly care about everybody that I'm messaging. I care about everybody that comes into this business. I care about people that don't, just people that come into my life. So just working on me being a good listener has been something that's really been taught to me over the past year, especially because I used to be a really good talker, and I didn't listen. Somebody could introduce themselves to me, I wouldn't even know what their name was. So it's really just working on that skill. So
And if somebody else too says, well, sorry, just want to let you know I joined another company, another health company, and not Isogenics. I'm not interested. Don't cross them off, because there are so many people who have, in like KO that has said, I switched over from Advocare to Isogenics, or I do both, Herbalife and Isogenics. Like, so don't cross people off just because they give you a no.
yeah, that's so true. I get asked a lot, what I do really on a daily basis. So I wanted to kind of let you know what my DMO is, which is the daily method of operation. So I have people that we tell, set business hours. And people are like, well, I set business hours, but what am I supposed to do? And I remember when I was first getting started, I'm like, well, what do I got my office set up, I got my business, my business space, I've got hours, but I don't even know what I'm doing. And so I just want to tell you just the things that are non-negotiable that I do every day. And Facebook, I'm on that. That's when I open my eyes, and before I even go kiss my children, I am on Facebook. So I get up purposely 30 minutes before them so that I can get on, see what's going on within the page, and just begin supporting. So posting, but equally supporting people. Everybody in that page. There's, I'm looking for new people, names I don't know, so that I can make sure that we're commenting and helping them on the page. But posting on my personal page once a day, and then posting within the Sweet Freedoms page at least once a day as well. And that's hard for me, because sometimes I think my life is not very exciting, and so I'm really struggling. Oh my gosh, I've got to post. But the point is you want to. So
Angie, should I post this?
I know. I do. I love when I get messages. Should I post this? I'm like, why are we having this conversation? Post it.
Post it.
The point is you want to stay in people's feed, and you want to stay in their feeds being positive. You don't want to be the person that's complaining about your dead battery and all your kids are, I know, Melissa, this is not an attack on you. I can't, they can't even see me. I have really bad days, and I have a lot of them. I just really try not to air them on Facebook, because I want to be that person that when they see my name, they want to read a post from me. I want to be somebody has a bad day that maybe they go to my page because they know that they're going to find something that brings them out of that bad mood. So Facebook has been cleaned up for me, because now 2 years ago, my page was a whole lot of complaining. And so just, be mindful that it's a snapshot into your life. It's not at all about being fake. It's just being the best version of you, so that people can really follow you.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
One thing that I've done is gone back and maybe had, photos of partying back a few years ago. I've deleted a lot of that old stuff off in case people go back through and actually want to see like what I just did in the past or whatever. They don't see a bunch of that kind of junk from back then. And the other thing is, don't be an over poster. We've been on pages where people just post. One person's posting like 20 times a day, and it's like, man, you just get turned off by that. So don't do it too much where people are going to get turned off either on Sweet Freedom or on your personal page.
Well, they've got the 10-4-1 rule. You guys talk about it? That we learned this at New Year kickoff. 10-4-1 was like a big takeaway for me. So that's meaning that you're going to do 10 posts that are basically just kind of you being funny, just your life, you know. 4 posts that are more lifestyle posts, just things maybe that are going great in your life. Maybe you're taking a trip. Maybe you guys, you know, just something about your lifestyle. And then 1 post that's really what they would consider like a power type of business post. And it's not, hey, I'm doing Isagenix, private message me, but it's, you know, maybe I'm so blessed that I get to work alongside of my friends, you know, and teach them about the health and wellness and what I've been educated on over the past year, or, you know, just something along the lines that's going to intrigue them to want to ask questions and learn more. And maybe they don't, but over a period of different posts like that, they're going to ask questions. So just, you know, making that 10-4-1. So that equates out to like about 2 posts a day, which I still sometimes struggle with. But I know that if any of you are friends with Tracy O'Malley, if ever you're struggling on something to post, go to her page. And you don't have to steal things, but you will be inspired, and it will generate a post for you. You will be able to say, oh my gosh, I can post this, or just, you know, you'll know the person's page that you can go to help your mind generate a post. Or maybe I'm the only one with that problem, but every once in a while I'm like, I don't know what to post today. But it's a big deal to stay consistent. Back office. We mentioned the Isopulse app. That app is great, but I don't want to take the place of your back office. The back office is so important. This I'm in I'm in mine at least 5 times a day. Checking on everybody, checking on people's active dates. Most people know when they need to order, but some people still need their hand held a little bit, or they don't understand why somebody's in a grace period, and they need me to explain that. So I am in there multiple times throughout the day, because Isopulse is going to show me a snapshot, but my back office is going to let me dig into it, and it's going to allow me to know who is where, and who needs help with what. Maybe digging into your blueprints. If you've never visited that tab before, your blueprints, and they will grow as your business grows. But this is where I find out who's one away from becoming a consultant, who's getting ready to promote to manager, who's up for their next box of vitamins. So that's where I'm able to find all of that out. So back office is a huge part of my day. Connecting with people, just in general. Whether it's connecting with somebody on the team that needs help, but also equally, I try at least to connect with 3 people a day for Isagenix. So that may be a new person at my daughter's school. It might be somebody at a grocery store. My Isagenix shaker bottle goes with me everywhere. My Isagenix shirt generates conversations. But my goal every day is to connect with 3 new people. Whether it's just becoming a friend, and Isagenix may never come up, but it's just, I used to be the person that I was looking down. I did not want to get in conversations. I was frustrated, dragging my kids to the stores. And so just changing that about me, and knowing that I'm going to at least make somebody smile is really just change the way that I look at things, and then connecting with people. It's just really, that's been a huge growth for me over the past year. And personal development, that one's non-negotiable. That is a huge deal. Whether it's reading a book first thing in the morning, 15 minutes even, 15 minutes. Or last thing before you go to bed at night, watching videos. We've got an incredible podcast, great speakers from Isagenix. So just, there's so many things that Isagenix has put into place for us to really be able to plug into. But these are my 4 non-negotiable things that I do every day. And I do not have set business hours because I can't quite figure them out. I'm kind of just there whenever. But I'm in Facebook kind of throughout the day. All of this is happening throughout the day. But for those of you that have jobs outside of the home, I do encourage you to balance your family, balance your job, to balance Isagenix, to set hours. And so for Facebook, if you can commit to like maybe 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night, just to get in there, post, and support the people that you've put in there, support the new people on the page. It's go a long way, because your people that you've added are going to see you popping up, and that's going to really speak to them, and they're going to come to you. And and know that you know what you're talking about. They see you active in that page. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. So as far as connecting with people, so I'll hear from people a lot of times. I don't know anybody. I talk to everybody, and I was that person in the beginning. I talked to everybody, and then I realized no, I didn't. I talked to the people I wanted to, and I was scared to talk to the rest. And I want to encourage you guys to really get beyond that, because I don't know how many of you in here got started with Isagenix the first time that you heard about it? Linda, okay. So we have so 2 people. And so that's happened, because I've been on 3-way calls where at the end they say, okay, well, what do I do when I want to sign up? And they get started. And that's great, but that doesn't happen often, as you can see with the room filled with people here. So I encourage you to track like Libby is, but also to call, not necessarily call, but to connect on one way or another, whether it's adding people into Sweet Freedoms and shooting them a private message, calling them to just flat out connect. Isagenix may or may not come up, but calling them not with that intention, but just going back. I mean, we have got hundreds of Facebook friends. That's a huge list right there, and I know we haven't talked to all of them, so it's just really learning how to connect and how to pick up the phone, how to just send messages and just check in and see how people are doing, because you know what the next question is, well, how are you doing? And you know what, I'm doing great. I just got started on blah blah blah, or I started a home-based business, or whatever it is. Isagenix can be weaved into that conversation, but it's about making that connection, and so much of that can happen from home, around our busy schedules. Because believe me, most days I'm like, I can't fit it all in. My pockets that we fit this in our life got pretty deep, but it's so worth it to make the time to connect with people and share this with them. If you feel like you have exhausted your warm market, then you are going to be out into cold market, and that's going to be you being friendly out in public. That's going to be you wearing your ISA gear. And you could even go further, and maybe you're a part of a church, and you could host a small group in your home. That's creating a new warm market. Maybe you are a mom with young kids, and you have a neighborhood page on Facebook you could create to invite other moms to come to, so that you could plan play dates, have them at your home. You have Isagenix stuff out on your counter. There are so many different avenues to go to really generate and to create a brand new warm market. So the great thing is Jason's my statistic. How many people live here in Phoenix?
It's like 4 million or something like that.
Okay,
4 point something million.
And Isagenix has 400,000 associates worldwide. There is such room for growth here. It's just going to take us being that voice and getting out of our comfort zone, having conversations, and just not being afraid. Because like Libby said, this is 100% a gift that people are looking for. So then what I do as far as the planning out, like what I'm going to do for my daily method of operations, is basically the night before, I just pick the top 3 things that I want to accomplish the next day. I love lists. I used to have a long list because I thought I had a lot of lines on the paper. I should probably fill them all up, so I look really busy, So I thought I would do that, and I'd get frustrated because I really cross off a few of them, and I thought, well, now I look like I accomplished nothing. So 3 things. 3 things that you want to accomplish, and write them out. Write them out, make it doable, make it so that you can feel accomplished at the end of each day. Figure it out the night before, so you're not waking up to do the day. You know what you're going to do. You know who you're going to reach out to. And it just kind of sets you up for success versus that feeling of unknown. And so I would just say plan, do, repeat every day. Plan it, do it, repeat it every single day. Create a habit. So that's the end of my part. So I'm going to let you talk about your next part.
So the next part is we're just kind of wanting to get a feel for how you want to rate yourself of where you're at right now. Because it doesn't matter where you're at right now, that's the journey that you should be on. But it helps us as leaders know where you're at. Okay, so this is just a question that we wanted to use. You can just think of this number in your head. You don't have to share it yet. But how would you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being I'm just here because I want to learn how to get my products paid for. Okay? And that's okay. I was there. That was me. And that's all I wanted. Okay? Or if you're 5, then you're wanting to get your products paid for and you're wanting to pay for an extra car payment. Or maybe like me, who has a student loan that I took out, tons of money last year getting my master's, which I don't have the job. Now this is my life. Okay, so I wanted money to get paid for my products that I know work, and then I wanted money to help pay for my student loan. So I would be rating yourself a 5. And 10 is I'm in this for my financial future. So you can even be somewhere in between. But just think of that number. And I do want you just for a second, so if you're in rows or if you're by partner, to just kind of talk to them about where you're at. And we're going to talk about something. So I'll give you like a couple seconds to just talk about where you're at and why you're there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're friends. It's funny because I'm at my school. Friends with us? Yeah. Thank you. I know Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing your numbers with your group. I want you to write that number down and think about it. And then if you feel comfortable at the end of tonight, if you want to talk to Angie and I about where you're at, this will help us all as leaders because then we know where to help you. We will be able to guide you with, if you're wanting to get your products paid for and you still have questions with that, we don't want to be talking to you about, well, you can make this much money, We want to be where you're at. We want to be where you're at. So just please, if you want to talk to us, if you don't, you can also lock arms with somebody that enrolls you or somebody that you consider a leader that's within our Sweet Freedoms group, and just lock arms with them and discuss it and figure out, ask them questions. How do I get my products paid for? How can I make that extra money? What did you do to make that extra money to get your student loan paid for the month? You can always find answers with somebody in our group, and we all love giving advice on Sweet Freedoms Day. And you know what? Speaking about that, I love our page because we all have each other's back. Okay. Today there was a post, and I was just so proud of some people on here that were trying different things to help that person. Yeah. So sometimes you'll see a question on there, and you can just see all our positive remarks, and they're all different. Somebody's talking about we use vitamins, and somebody's talking about this, and it was just, I love it. So thank you guys for doing that, and that's why this too, locking arms with people, just is so important, and we have a great team, lots of knowledge on this team. Everything that you do as a leader duplicates. Meaning, okay, I got set up with a 30-day pack. So I only shared about 30-day packs. That's okay, but when I looked at the whole spectrum of things and found out all my questions through Angie, I was like, and through our team, I'm like, wow, I could be sharing a president's pack and really setting someone up so that they're not quitting on me. Or, setting them up with a 30-day pack, but they need to have something else added onto it, like the Ice of Delights. So I guess what I'm getting at is whatever you do as a leader is going to duplicate. Because guess what? Then when I signed up those people with 30 packs, what were they sharing? 30-day packs. So it's just whatever you do. And that's a positive end, and it's hard for me too, because now we're all trying to get out of our comfort zones. Like, we should be sharing the president's pack, but we didn't start with the president's
So that's just one example of what duplicates. If you're positive on the page all the time and you're posting, guess what your team's gonna do? They're gonna follow that. If you are, and same thing for the opposite. If you're on your own personal page and you're ranting and raving about politics, those people, that group of people will be drawn to you, and you guys can all do that together too. Anyway, so the point being is just try to be the best you that you can be, and it will duplicate. And yes.
What if you're positive on your page, and maybe I need to be called out, but I really truly feel like I am, and my team still is like, no thanks, I don't want to post, I don't want to tag people, I don't want to add people, please don't ask me again to do that, or oh no, I'm not doing that. I guess it just is what it is.
So I was that person. She was like, if you just post on the page every single day, you'll get, how I'm like, I don't want to post it. And then she was like, why don't you post, a picture? You've had great results. I'm not posting pictures of myself on there. Like, no way. She's like, Libby, you look great. No. Okay, so I was that person, but eventually rubbed off, right? You have to meet people where they're at.
Right.
So if they're not ready, you're not going to push it. But yes, there are going to be people, but eventually, if they are in this to learn it and to be where you're at, they're going to want to do the same. Yes.
And it takes others around you to consistently post, or, okay, like me, I guess I should say, I told Shannon when we first started, I'm not going to post every day. Maybe because of timing, maybe because in my head I was like, I don't have time. 6 days a week of work, and it's not going to happen. But then eloquently posting here and there based off of what I would hear from others that were joining the group.
Right.
I would hear what they would say, and I'm like, you don't like the face. Is that so? Really? And then, putting a post out there that didn't necessarily just jab at that person, but probably brought up the thoughts that others were having. Yeah. Oh yeah, I hate that. You shot too, but, and then they thought just a little bit further in that.
Right.
I mean, just putting that post out there,
And
whether you want to or not, could completely inspire. If it just takes the one person that it inspires, because that trickle effect will happen with the other people that they post about or tag.
Exactly. And two, it's exciting when you see someone's name that hasn't posted a lot, and then you're like, whoa, that was awesome. We just had a guy the other night post something. We were just like, wow, that was amazing. So,
but Shannon, if you staying consistent, they're gonna watch it. They're gonna see you. A lot of people, as sad as this may sound, are really waiting for us to fail, because we're just living in that type of world where people they're waiting. They're like, let's see how long she does it.
Right.
So you being consistent with it is huge, because I'll tell you, I've got people that it took them a year of me following up to come around, and then they get started and they're like, I'm not sharing it. That's fine. You don't have to, because guess what? I wasn't either. I wasn't going to for 6 weeks. If you would have told me I would be doing this now, I would have laughed at you. I had no intentions of doing this. So just remember that. Remember that not everybody jumps on board. Maybe they're just a product user and they need to fall in love with the product. And maybe then, they see you having a little bit more success and they say, well, what if? Or they bring a friend to it and you say, you know what, just eloquently, hey, you know what, if you have 2 friends this week, this is what you could do. Just be there to answer their questions. But if they don't want to be tagged in things, then don't tag them. Just be happy that they stay on the page.
And so then too, we also want to just focus on people who want it. Focus on people who want to do the business. Focus on people who want to just use the products and get healthy. Focus on those people who are positive. Use the products, talk to people, and use all the tools. And we're going to talk about here some tools. Do you guys know where to go to find answers? Like, let's say you have a health question. Where might you go? Yeah. Or you can go in your back office too and find a health blog and Google or search in your search engine. What about if you have somebody that wants to know about how to get their products paid for? Where would you go? Where would you send them, or where would you go to get the information if you didn't know? Back office. Okay. Well, so here are some of our top tools. Again, Isagenix gives you everything that you need. Everything in your back office. You just have to take the time to look through the different tabs and go, oh, like me. Like, oh, there's a health blog here. I have to keep texting Angie questions about Does this shake have this? And there's also groups on Facebook, which some of you already know that. Some of you have, what? Oh, okay. There's some groups on there, that you might want to be part of. If somebody says, hey, I have thyroid problems and I need to know, can I use Isagenix? You could go to the health blog. You could join one of the health Facebook groups. We obviously can't say that we cure or prevent, diagnose any kind of medical, but there are support groups on Facebook that use Isagenix that are for different areas. And so here are some of the tools. We've got isamovie.com. This is very helpful for if you're recruiting your potentials. You can send them to isamovie.com. They have a video for Are You Toxic? But I want to let you know that Angie and Jason created the Sweet Freedoms website, and we've used some of the ISA movies on there. So if you go to the new Sweet Freedoms, Experience Sweet Freedoms website.
Yeah, experiencesweetfreedoms.com. It's got what I thought were all of the top tagged videos in our page in like a one-stop, shop, where they can just go and view it. And then now there's team testimonials. So I know we've got Libby, myself, and Jay's video up right now. So we need to send people there. If you guys want to send me testimonials, a great place for them to see you when they land on the website and hear your story. But yeah, that's another just, I think, great tool. The ISA movie, if you guys haven't visited that, watch the movies. There are some really incredible movies. None of them are longer than 10 minutes. There are a number of them. Depending on the person you're sending it to, you're not going to send the same video to a stay-at-home mom as you are to a guy in corporate America, maybe looking to do this as a business. So just familiarize yourself with those videos because they're incredible videos.
And then there's also isaproduct.com. This is where you're going to send if they need to know the ingredients. That was me, Angie, my husband's in the health industry, and I need to know what's in all these protein shakes. I need to know. So she sent me here. So you can see all the different products and what's in each product system. There are no prices on here, correct? So when you go there, usually people will look at stuff, and then that's the next question. How much is this if they haven't asked you already? Isagenixbusiness.com.
And that's business related questions. That's for us. That is for, even if you have somebody who's looking to get started with this as a business and they've got questions that maybe you don't know how to answer, you can check with us, but you can also familiarize yourself with that website. People say, well, how does the compensation plan work? Isagenixbusiness.com. How does cycles work? Isagenixbusiness.com. That is your go-to website to really learn the nuts and bolts of this business.
And we do again have a lot of these things at our fingertips on the GoPro page as well. If they're part of that page, then you can tag them in some of these as well. Isagenixhealth.net. This is the one we were talking about for health-related articles, and Google. Angie and I both get a lot of texts from everybody that have you ever heard of this program? And how does it compare to Isagenix? And I'm like, I actually did that to you, and I was like. And you're like, why don't you go in a nice way? Can you go look it up online because I don't know either. So then you just Google it and see what you can find, and then you're like, oh, well, they kind of have a plan. Just trying to figure out so that you can help guide someone.
The great thing is if you can find a comparison when somebody asks a question and we don't have it in our page, upload that comparison as a file. That's how the whole page has been built. Is just a collective group of us. We're all getting asked questions that on a daily basis that we say, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. And that's how all of those files have been uploaded. A lot of them by myself, but a ton of other team members that just take that initiative to be able to Google it. And don't pull from any site. You want it to be a credible site. We don't want just somebody's random opinion, but you'll know a credible site. And feel free to upload that document because I promise you it will come in handy to several other team members.
Okay, and then lastly, for this part, I just wanted to talk to you about cleanse coaching. We want to remind you that cleanse coaching is great. You've got to keep the support going with the people that you enroll. Do that for 14 days and let them know. We're going to be BFFs for 14 days. You either text me, let me know how you're doing, text me with questions, call me. And if I don't hear from you, I'm going to be calling you or texting you because we are BFFs for the first 14 days. And you know what? This does really help support that person because the first few days for some people are not so fun and they're ready to give up and they need you. So 14 days cleanse coaching. After 14 days, yes, you can still talk to this person But you shouldn't be checking in on every little thing, and they need to know how to use the program and how it works. And I wanted to let you know something I learned at NYKO, and that is if you were to look at your whole day and how it should be spent on sharing Isagenix with others, 20% of a day could potentially be on things like cleanse coaching, personal development, things like that. Okay, 80% is prospecting, connecting, sharing with others, presenting, open houses, and so forth. So just think about that when you're looking at your day as well.
Yeah, and as far as the cleanse coaching goes, after the 14 days, I'll still have people reach out to me and ask me questions. And it took me a little while to figure this out because I was feeling really, really overwhelmed because I was getting a lot of messages. And I thought, the answers are all on the page. They're already there. So in a nice way, I would say that's a great question, and it would really probably help somebody else to learn. Would you mind posting that in the page? Because that's a great way to get them to interact on that page. Because I'm one small part of that, but we're a huge group, and together they're going to get a lot of different responses versus me just quickly texting them back. Or also, you know what? There's a file in our page, and versus instead of me tagging them in it, saying if you click on the files tab, you can find that there's a lot of people don't even know that exists. So just letting them know, hey, did you check here? Have you done this? And then it's funny because the text will stop coming in about that. They may start coming in asking how to share, and then that's a whole new subject. But as far as that cleanse coaching goes, don't get super caught up in it. We want to set them up for success, that 14-day rule. And the reason we want to is because when they get their people set up, that's what you duplicate. That's the beauty of this, is we are all duplicating ourselves so that this business can grow without us. So.
And it can also, if you are enrolling a bunch of people at once, if any of you have experienced this, then you're like, oh man, I'm coaching, 5 people for 14 days at once, and it can feel very overwhelming. So we don't want to get caught up in coaching them for months.
And then when you guys do set somebody up, I want to just, find out and make sure everybody is sending out do you guys all have a welcome email that you're sending out to people? Yes, no, yeah, okay. That's super important because it just allows them to get, the information on the program. It's personalized to them. It has, for me, I've got a sample of my welcome email and the page, so anybody can use it. Just change the signature if you want, or just take some of it and make it sound like you. But it's giving them their username and password. It's sending them to these type of websites so that they know that they're there. That way when they say, hey, where can I find this out? I can say, you know what, I sent you a welcome email when you first got started. You can find it in there. So all of the information is within that email for them. Nikki did a great Unpacking Your President's Pack post, and I love that. I looked today, it's been watched 108 times, and that's awesome because that takes a lot of the work out of us. Let's face it, a lot of us in here have kids, jobs, both, some of us, and then we throw Isagenix in. That can feel a little bit overwhelming. So I gotta be honest, I've set up 4 people this month, and I have not unpacked one pack with them over the phone because I say, if you have questions after that, let me know, and we're gonna talk. And they watch the video and they're like, nope, I'm set to go, tomorrow's day 1. And it's just amazing how it frees up your time. So that's, again, what we're looking to do. One video, 108 people have watched it versus 108 separate conversations that we're having to have. So again, duplicate. So important. So thank you. I appreciate you doing that video. That is like,
It's so good. I just sent it out, and it's really good.
it's part of my welcome email, the link there for them to watch. So
What other videos are you going to do?
I know. Right? So we go, what else?
What do you do?
Yeah.
She's like, calm down.
Yeah.
You guys, I want to talk about enrolling people. When you are enrolling people, are you enrolling them and finding out why they want to do this? So let's just say, for example, I talk to somebody and I say, what's your goal? My goal is to lose 30 pounds. That's great, but that's not actually their full goal. So that's great. Well, what would losing 30 pounds mean to you? What would it do for you? Well, I had one lady say, you know what? I haven't been able to go in the backyard and jump on the trampoline with my kids because I'm too overweight. I get out of breath, and so to me, that's her goal. So when she tells me this is hard, I can't do that, I say, remember why you're doing this. Remember, you want to be out back. You want to be playing with your kids. So you remind them 30 pounds is a number. That's not that big of a deal. But when you can find out the root of their why and what's important to them, there you can bring that up. And that's, as coaches, we have a pretty big responsibility to these people. So finding that out is really going to go a long way, and remembering it. However, if you remember it up here, or if you need to write it down, like if you're having a crazy month where you're enrolling a ton of people, remembering what it is that that person's why is and checking in with them. I had one lady this week. I'm so proud of her. I've never even met her in person. I found her on a neighborhood Facebook page because I put a post in there just asking if anybody was tired, if anybody was struggling with headaches, if anybody was battling being overweight, like, didn't have energy. And if so, I would love to add you to a private page. And I added her that way. And she sat on it for 3 months, and I followed up with her. So again, never met her in person, but I feel like I know her excitement just in text. It's crazy how you can tell what's going on with her and how excited she is. And that is why I absolutely love doing this, but I know why she's doing it. And it's not just for a number, it is for something bigger than that. So become their friends, genuinely become involved in their lives. We are not here to make money. We are here to support people, and we are blessed that the compensation plan follows it. So I want to know, after you guys are enrolling somebody, are you all adding them immediately, whether they want to be a part of the business or you've said anything? Are you adding them to the business page?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was not doing that in the beginning. I'll be honest. I was like, nope, I don't want a part of it. Like, this is scary. I'm not going to do it. Well, I got over that, and I let everybody know I'm going to add you into a GoPro page. This is where you just learn about sharing with people. If you are, if you have somebody that comes to you, because I explained to them within 14 days, somebody is going to notice that you're doing something they're going to ask. So this is just a place for you to be able to ask your questions. And some people say, well, I'm not planning on sharing. I said, that's fine, but I'm just obligated to let you know about this. And I just put them in that page. I have not had anybody pull themselves out yet. So I want to make sure that everybody puts them in the GoPro page as well as the recipe page. Because a lot of times we'll see people commenting about the recipe page and they're not in it, and then they want us to add them. We can't add them unless we're friends. So just get in the habit, sending out a welcome email, recipe page, and then putting them in GoPro. Those 3 things need to happen. And I want to know if any of you guys are in here. I don't know if anybody's at the point where they're feeling like overwhelmed at all with Isagenix, or are you guys all feeling like pretty in control? I know Shannon sometimes is like balancing life and Isagenix, but
I just talk about it probably more than the normal human being.
and that's not a bad thing. But you will, as you're growing, there will come a point where you may feel overwhelmed with what's going on. I know Libby's probably been there before too. And that's really why we try to develop other leaders, because there are 5,000 people on that Facebook page, and if I was the only one in there, I would be losing my mind right now. And so that's why it's just so important to find out where you all are at and figure out. That's where it goes back to that 1, 5, and 10, where you're at, because we want to push you to be your best, but we don't want to push you past where you're wanting to go now. So just trying to figure out where everybody's at, because we want to be responsible for our team. If you've enrolled one person, you're a leader. You don't need to have an army of people. One person makes you a leader. So just making sure that we are responsible for our people. Again, like I said earlier, just leaders, we don't give answers. We help to guide people to their solution. So we help to direct them, because when you guide somebody to figure out the answer on their own, it empowers them to know that they're able to do this, versus otherwise you become that source that they go to. We become Google. They come to us and they're Googling all of their questions, and you will very quickly become burnt out. So knowing where to find the questions, that does not mean at all you guys can come to me, because I'm always here to help, but use the tools first and see what you can find out, because those tools that Isagenix has put in place they're incredible. And let's see what else I've got. I already talked about uploading new files. And then I guess another big question is, when somebody asks you what you do, is Isagenix come out of your mouth? Like, when people used to ask me, what do you do? Say, well, Mom, I wasn't going to say anything about Isagenix. I didn't want to. I was just scared. I didn't know what I did. I was like, I don't know. When people ask me what I do now, I tell them, well, I run a home-based business. The next question is, well, what is that? What do you mean? Well, it's in the health and wellness industry. Have you heard of Isogenics? I'm confident in saying the name. I don't feel like there's any need to hide it. So yes or no, or is that like Herbalife? It opens the door to a conversation. So guys, if you are like I used to be, scared when people say, well, what do you do? And if you have another job, I'm in real estate, but I'm also building a home-based business on the side. Really, what does that look like? Whatever it's going to sound right rolling off your tongue, but if you guys don't let people know what you do, we can't be upset if they get started with somebody else. Like, we have got to have the conversations and let people know. It's up to them to decide whether or not, they want to get started, but at least it starts that conversation. And do you guys have, like, if you log into your back office, do you have, do you know, like, who's active and who's not active? Yeah? Do you guys get, like, frustrated when people are inactive?
Yes.
Or they quit? Jen, I can't believe you're in the back row.
I know,
I'm really crazy.
It was me. I was like, look at that couch.
I'm
like, no, you noticed.
Well, people, we all have people that aren't going to stick with it. Let's face it, not everybody is going to love this as much as we do. Not everybody was ready for that change quite yet. Not everybody is 100% in with sharing this as a business, so they don't see staying active as being a big deal. But some reasons why people quit are, first, it's confusion. If you're confused about something, it might just seem really overwhelming. It's just easier to say, you know what, I'm just going to push it off. I'm not even going to do it. So our first job is to make sure that they are not confused on how this program works, that we're there. But second, just to coach them with the business as well, to support them through sharing with people. Lack of belief. So if they don't believe in the products, they're not going to stick around. The company, the comp plan, the industry, and themselves. There's just having belief in all of those areas are so important, and not everybody has that. But again, it's our job as coaches to really support them and make sure that we're doing everything we're supposed to. Like I said, we can't control other people, but we can control what we do for everybody, and we can be consistent with it. I guess that's the next one. Is that right? You have my.
The 30 seconds, please.
I was gonna show, I guess I meant to show this. Okay, so these are the 4 areas that you do. You need to have belief, and you need to really have the belief in the products first of all. So if we are all product users, then we're experts in this business because we use the products every single day. So talking about them should be a piece of cake because we know how the system works. We know what it's done for us. Isogenics is a company. I have 100% belief in this company. It is incredible. The owners, everything about this company is absolutely operating with integrity. I don't know if any of you have dealt with customer service in here, but their customer service is it's the best. So I know Shannon may have had a minor issue with them, but we're all good. You can't swap out. You can't swap out 4 shake canisters of the same flavor without returning them completely.
I didn't want to do that.
No, she didn't. How many of you guys in here have been involved in network marketing before? Okay, so we've got a handful of people. And for those of you not, were you looking to be involved in network marketing? Were you looking to become healthy and meet a goal as far as weight loss? Because that is the majority of people that come into this, and that's the thing that really sets Isogenics apart. Is that people aren't necessarily coming to it looking for an opportunity, but they're looking to get healthy. And what happens is Isogenics works. As long as you work with it, Isogenics works. And so what happens then is the network marketing comes second. And the beautiful thing is most people don't feel like they are selling anything. I know I don't feel like I'm selling anything. I'm truly just sharing something that I found that finally works because I've tried enough other things that don't. So belief in network marketing. Eric Worre has got a great book called GoPro. If any of you guys have read that, Jason's got this going on in the personal development page. But that book, if you don't have belief, you will have belief after reading that. This is an incredible industry. Network marketing gets a bad rap because people don't want to buy crappy products off of their friends, but that's not what we're doing. We're sharing solutions. So if we can get beyond that, belief in this area will take your business to a brand new level. And then believe in yourself. Like, how many in here truly believe right now that you can do this? Seriously, raise your hand. You guys believe that you can make 6 figures this year? When we talk about billion and beyond, raise your hand. Carolyn. I'm serious, because I want to tell you, yeah, Jamie, everybody should, because I want to tell you, it doesn't take anybody special. What it takes is belief in yourself. We're very much, most of us are stuck in employee mindset, where we have somebody that tells us what to do every day, and you go to work and you know what you're supposed to do. But guess what? Nobody's going to tell you what to do. We're going to give you the tools. But if you don't get up and motivate yourself and create a schedule, it's not going to work. But I know firsthand, if you're consistent and you plug away at this every single day, that yes, you can create 6 figures in a year's time. So important, all of these. So if you didn't write them down, I want you guys to remember and rate yourself on what your beliefs are in these areas, because they all need to be at 10s. And once they are, I promise you, your business is going to explode. So I'm going to let Libby talk a little bit about this. Kind of goes back to when people ask you what you do in developing your 30-second story and what it should entail.
So when you meet someone for the first time or talk to someone about Isagenix, it's really important to not what they call verbal vomit on them. You don't want to tell them, oh, so let me tell you about the shakes. Then the shakes, there's this, and this, and oh my gosh, the cleanse, you lose all this weight, and you just go on. This is me in the beginning, on and on and on. They don't want to hear that. There might be somebody that says, I want to know what's in the products, and then you send them to that website. But most of the time, they want to know a snippet of why you believe in the products. And so what we've learned at a couple of our Isagenix events is creating your 30-second story. When I heard that, I was like, 30 seconds? Like, I was partners with Jason, and we had to practice. Okay, so we wrote it down, and then they set the timer. They're like, ready, go. And I'm like, and he's like, Libby, you're getting like, and I'm still on before Isagenix. I was, so they mapped this out for us. It's called your 30-second story. Of course, you're probably going to go a little bit more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds to 2 minutes. But if you've gone past the 2 minutes, okay, I used to teach. It's something when you start, or you're a parent, you're talking to your kids and you tell them, and this is what they're hearing. Because you're not engaging them in a belief. Okay? So what you're going to do, if you have never done this before, I would write this down because we're going to practice here. Okay? So the first one for your story is, number 1, you're going to write, before Isagenix, I was. Okay? And then you're going to have some feelings attached to that. So think about before Isagenix. So for me, it would be, before Isagenix, I felt overweight, depressed, just very unhappy. Okay? Gotta be fast. All right, number 2 on your paper is going to be, I was introduced to Isagenix by a name. Okay? Name, how you were introduced, and how long ago. So when I got to this part, I was introduced to Isagenix by a gal named Angie George, probably 8 months ago. Actually, it was before that because I said no. Okay, and then number 3 is as a result of Isagenix. So this is now how you feel. Okay, so you went from I was feeling overweight, depressed, not happy, and as a result of Isagenix, I have released 26 pounds, 30 inches. I have energy to run around with my kids, and I am actually happy. Okay, quick, and then that actually goes to now. I now feel. So this is as a result of. So for me, this one was weight loss. So I would say as a result of Isagenix, I released 26 pounds, 30 inches. I now feel like I can have enough energy to get. You guys saw. Some of you probably saw my testimony video. That was a longer version of it, but these are the bullet points. So what I want you to do is partner. You're going to partner up. Well, actually, what you're going to do is you're going to write yours out if you need to write it out. Or if you already have it in your head, you're ready to go. I want you to spend a couple of minutes writing these down, getting your 30-second story made. Because, again, when you see someone, you don't want to verbal vomit about everything. They just want to hear this. Okay? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have you write it out, think about what your story is, and then you're gonna practice with someone. Okay? And then we
Everybody
might-
uncomfortable?
and then we'll see if anybody in here, would like to volunteer and try it. And I'm not gonna time you and be like, that's 29 seconds, you know. No, not gonna do that to you. But they did do this to us at the Isogenics event at ICU, and they actually didn't allow us to be with anyone we knew. So I had to go up to somebody I didn't know and practice this. And then when we came back and we were actually timed with our story, I worked with them.
Then they made us share it in our Valley Girl voice too. So we
Oh, yeah.
had to then share it, and that was actually really fun. But they make the events fun. But yes, do this because that was really eye-opening to me. Imagine you get like trapped in an elevator with somebody. You've got like 4 floors. How are you going to get your story out there? So this is condensing. So take a couple of minutes, and then we do want to have a couple of people share just to get used to talking about it.
Okay, go.
Do you have paper?
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't know. Do you want to know?
We ran elevator.
Does anyone need paper or? Okay.
My problem is still my before. I still want to tell all I got really I figured out how to shorten it, but I used to
Of course.
Oh, you're welcome. I didn't even know when did you get in here. Okay, guys, I am gonna, this is on the webinar. I'm gonna share my 30-second story, and then I'm gonna see who's going to volunteer to come up and share their 30-second story. So mine would be, before Isogenics, I was feeling overweight, tired, and just unhappy with myself. I was introduced to Isogenics by a friend, now I would say 13 months ago, whose journey I watched on Facebook. As a result of Isogenics, I have released 20 pounds. I've successfully kept it off for a year, and I've regained my energy. I now feel that everybody deserves to know that there's a solution out there for what they're struggling. So that's my, I now feel. I do now feel great, but I want people to know that I do feel that it's something that's absolutely worth sharing. So who do we have in here that wants to volunteer to come up and share? Okay.
Yay!
Getting out of your comfort
That's
zone.
right.
Okay. Push yourself. I love it. Love it.
Side note, my husband does this every week in his business, and network marketing always. Okay, before Isogenics, I was overwhelmed with life, no energy, couldn't balance everything, and overweight. I was introduced to Isogenics by Jeanette Brown.
Yeah.
Down there somewhere. In late September of last year. And as a result of Isogenics, so far I've released 25 pounds. And and I absolutely now feel like I have enough energy to live my life and continue to onward to my weight loss goal, which is actually 100 pounds. So,
All right.
Thank you. All right, anybody else want to come up, or did Jay, is there anything you want to share?
I'll do mine.
Okay.
All right, Jude.
We need to hear from the guy.
Yeah.
Alright,
I know Jay's not shy.
No.
just a little bit. So before Isogenics, I was fat, tired, stressed, and just a lazy sack. I was introduced to Isogenics back in February by my wonderful friends Angie and Jason. And as a result of Isogenics, I actually started in November, so I kind of learned for a while. And as a result of Isogenics, I've lost 31 pounds in 90 days.
Yeah.
20 inches.
Yeah.
And now I feel amazing. I have tons of energy. And my girlfriend thinks I'm sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, one more person. Yeah. I'll do mine. I'm still frustrated with the number 4, but I'll try it. Okay. That's all right.
You know what, your story also will change a little bit as you go.
I know it always does. Before Isogenics, I was frustrated, overweight, disappointed, and addicted to food. I was introduced to Isogenics from my friend Melissa Drew in May of 2014. And as a result of Isogenics, I've lost 25 pounds and 40 inches. I now feel full of hope, and I don't fixate on food as much anymore. It's changed my entire life, and it's the only program I've ever done that has sustainable results.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, doesn't matter what time of day it is, this girl is just like a ball of energy. So I learned that.
You over here.
in
Every morning.
the blush night when I
Lunch is almost over.
I'm gonna grab that whiteboard for you.
Don't call it after 9.
I know.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. It really does help. And then you realize when you're on the phone, whether you're doing a three-way call or just a one-to-one call, or you're meeting with someone, you'll realize you go back to that instead of just doing the verbal vomit like I did. I catch myself. I'll say, before Isogenics, and I know those numbers that I've lost weight. And it's a little bit different now. I've lost a little bit more, but it's because I have that ingrained in my head. And that story, that 30-second story, just gives a snippet. And then you can go into more, they're going to ask questions, okay?
I did not write that. My daughters wrote that on the board, so I do know how to spell the company.
So there is another thing that we want to talk about tonight, and that is going to be another activity that we're going to do, and that's the U+2, Them+2. You may have heard of it, either by your back office, the website, at an event, but this is how our compensation plan is, and this is the easiest way to explain it to someone. And I actually want to give a shout out to my girl Julie, because I wasn't even expecting it, and she shared the compensation plan with someone within a couple of days of the girl starting. It was her first time actually sitting down with someone and showing them the compensation plan. She already signed up for her first person.
Yeah.
She hasn't even started the program. She's starting on Monday.
She hasn't even started the program, but because Julie showed it to her, and had she not, but she did, so there you go. Isogenics has a script, actually, of this U+2, if you needed to know exactly what to say and how to say it. But I think it's best to just put it in your own words, because people can relate to you better than talking like a little bit of a robot.
Yeah.
So the U+2, I'm just going to give an example as if you were in front of me. Now, this is out of my comfort zone, because usually I do it with someone sitting next to me and just share with them for a Starbucks or something. So the numbers always throw me off, but I'm gonna do this. Okay. So I'm going to use Angie as my example, as if I'm sitting with her. Okay. So I've already talked to her about how I'm going to show her our compensation plan. I'm gonna say, here you are, Angie, this is you, and I'm gonna put some beautiful hair on you. You're so happy because you've been using the Isagenix products and you're seeing results. And you decide, your mom comes in and she's like, Angie, you look beautiful, like something's happening with you, what's going on? And you're like, Mom, I gotta tell you all about this Isagenix. So you decide to share with Mom, okay? And Mom, we call her too, okay? And because you're sharing with your mom and it's your first person, Isagenix is like, wow, you did a good job. You are going to get paid $80 on that President's Pack, okay? And Angie's like, wow, $80 is awesome. And then she's like, oh, I can share this with my brother. So her brother's like, oh yeah, I'm totally into this whole thing because you're looking good, Mom's looking good. And so Isagenix pays her an $80 again on President's Pack. But guess what, guys? And this is for your friend. She shares with two people in the same Isagenix week. They go, oh, you are a rock star. We're actually going to double your pay. So you're going to get paid $160 on each one of those packs. That's $320 that she just made in 1 week. Okay? And it doesn't stop there. Isagenix, on top of it, says, hello, superstar. You just became a consultant. We're giving you a $50 bonus. Now we're at $370. Holy cow, $370.
The car payment.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And you're already getting your products paid for, pretty much. Especially if you started with the President's Pack, you're thinking in your head, oh my gosh, I just spent all this money, now I got $370. Okay, now this is the U+2. If this repeats itself, and Mom says I'm sharing with two people, she's getting paid those double amounts, and she became a consultant. So because this person became a consultant, Angie gets another $100 because she's obviously coaching her people, doing a great job. Same thing. This person decides to share with two people. Angie gets another $100. Am I doing good, Liz? Okay. So now what are we at? 570? Angie's made 570. And these people are getting their products paid for too. Okay, so this is that duplicate. You share with people, then they share with people, then they share with people, and everybody's getting paid.
Let's say that happens in 30 days.
Oh my gosh, totally forgot. Remember the crystal reset I told you about? If this happens in 30 days where you share with two people and they share with two people, they do +2, them +2, you're going to get an extra bonus, sorry, this is marker, of $250 on top of it. That's that crystal.
That's 820.
Crystal
$820 in 30 days for sharing with two people, and with, I would let people know, and with my help, well, I'll help you share with two other people. They don't feel like, well, with my help, we'll do this together. $820. Simple. So that's it. That is as deep as you need to go. This compensation plan will blow you away when you dig deeper, but that is all your people need to know as you show them how they can quickly make that back, and get good at drawing that with hair, without hair, with smiley faces, with names, however it's best for you. But I want to see who feels comfortable drawing U+2 and sharing it. Yeah? You want to come up and try it? Sure. Okay. Let's use the
I have to remember all the numbers, but
That's okay. Well, we'll help you with it. But I just, it's doing it and sitting next to somebody and getting comfortable with it.
Oh, can I get my support group in the back to pay attention?
Come on, Shannon. That's Shannon's call.
I used to be with Shannon. She's always on her phone. It's all good. Okay, so Shannon, I just introduced you to Isagenix. She's got people cleansing today. Oh, God. So I just signed you up with your President's Pack. And you, my lady, feeling good. Fantastic. Next thing you know, your wife's going to come in and say, hey, girl, I'm looking good. Do it different. You're going to say, you know what, I love you so much. I'm going to share this gift with you called Isagenix. And you're going to sign up Erica, who now has the best smile on her face, right? Because you did that and you signed her up with a President Pack, Isagenix is going to pay you, it's a good $80. Okay? And Erica's mom says, wow, you ladies are fantastic. I want some of that juice you're drinking, some of that great drink. And you give it. Okay, anyway, you have your mom, Erica's mom, join. And again, you get $80. You've done that in the same week because
everybody was so excited, they all jumped on board. Isagenix is going to say, you are amazing, we need to give you more money. And they're going to double your product bonus on both people. They're also going to say, wow, you are really sharing this isolate. You are a rock star. You've now become a consultant, and they're going to pay you an extra $50 bonus on top of that. So you have now made $370 with Isagenix. You're going to now tell Erica, hey, you could have the same thing. Why not? You can share it. And Erica's going to go and she's going to share it with her sister and her sister's husband. And they're both going to join. And then I don't remember after that.
And then,
Oh.
because you taught your friend how to
Oh,
share.
you taught your friend. Oh, right. Isagenix thinks again, how awesome and amazing are you? We're going to give you $100 because you taught your friends how to share the isolate. And your mom says, you know what? I think I could do that. I know a couple people I work with. My husband wants to get on board. And she signs up 2 people. And yet again, Isagenix says, kudos to you for being so awesome and duplicating what you've done, and they're going to pay you another $100. You have now made, what's 570 or 200? That's $570. And that can all be done in less than 30 days. And if you do that in less than 30 days, especially right now with the Crystal Reset, you get another bonus of $250.
And they get that anytime. Anybody that comes in, no matter when,
In the
always
first
has
30
30 days.
Right. Every new person.
Yeah.
So that I can't do that.
820 is the
820.
number to always remember. 820. Yeah. And you know what? If you don't remember numbers, who cares? I love when I forget things and it just makes it look. It's like, look, anybody can do this. I'm terrible at numbers. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to tell you, Isagenix won't forget that number. I might, but they will always pay you
The
that.
one thing that I didn't do, but I know that I like that Tracy does, and I want to figure out how to do that, is she will show like the price of the president pack, which is what, $559 to get started. And then she'll show you, you made your first $370. She subtracts the $370 to show them now you've actually only paid
$180.
$189 for your products. And that way it helps people understand like, wow, I'm almost getting my products paid for, and it's a visual. So yeah, I like how Tracy.
And so it's just, whatever you're comfortable with, but basically getting across the U+2, them+2, being comfortable sharing it. If you're more comfortable sharing it with what their profit's going to be and, subtracting, then just memorize the numbers. They'll always come out the same. Just memorize the numbers.
Let's give her a round of applause. Good job.
I'll get better each time.
Oh, yeah.
Me too, right? So I want to honor you guys' time because it's after 8 already, and I know we've got kids and work and all that. But I want to thank you guys for coming, and I just want to tell you that, Jason and I are big on setting goals. Our goal for this team for this year is to no longer be able to fit in this room. We are excited to grow this team and be able to rent out the room at the San Marcos and have it just be an event for Sweet Freedom. And that's just really and truly where we see this going. So we're thrilled. I'm thrilled that all you guys took the time out to come tonight. And if any of you have any questions, obviously we'll be around because we live here. But just let me know if you have any questions. But otherwise, I want to make sure that we honor your time and you guys can get out of here. So, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.